I've seen you doing lots of stuff, meeting lots of people, being cool, trying to give to each and everyone attention, and that's really nice, really polite, and of course that thing kind of get some energy out of you. So for every person that you meet and every person that you want to do a really good thing for, you need energy. And I was curious, how do you handle it? How do you get that energy and cultivate it?
Yeah, I think I just made not even a decision early on, but it just made sense to me that I'm so lucky to be a published writer, and then you're extra lucky that your book starts doing well, then to be published internationally, and then I just think it'd be really rude to not be good to people who, there are millions and millions of books in the world and they've got my book. And so to me, you want to put in a good signature, and actually I think I just grew up in a certain way where just because you're supposedly good at something, some people don't think I'm a good writer at all, and maybe they're right, but to have been successful doesn't actually make you, that's not what makes you and it can't make you better than everybody else. So to me, every reader I meet, I'm a reader, I love books have made my life, so to me it's more a sort of celebration of us coming together over something we both love, and so it's not hard to find that energy. It's a different time zone, you're in another world, it's 1 a.m. and you're still signing books, but I know people who would kill to be in that position. So I think that's the perspective you've got to have, and nothing against people who sort of just who aren't behaving exactly the same way. We all just have to make things work the way we do, and my idea is that I love every reader who's bought my book and read it and wants to talk to me, and we should talk together as equals, and that's what gives me the energy not only to do it but to stick with it, because I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a really good way to think, and I also read it before on biographies of great people 100, 200, 300 years ago, people that were performing, and they were saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, right.
Before getting on stage, before doing something for their audience, they're always thinking how lucky they are to have that and doing the best they could. Besides that, do you do something like exercises, the way you eat, or things that you do to take care also, because physical you need more energy? I run, for example. I enjoy running.
I've been running here in the morning every day when I've been here.
That's the same.
Yeah, that's why. And I've been up, and it's still quite dark early in the morning.
What time?
So actually, I'm usually up at 6 while I've been here. At home, sort of 5:30 to 6 I get up. But here, because it's still quite dark, I ran 6:45, and then one morning I ran up the hill to past the university and to the park up there. I think it's Koppel Park or something.
Yes.
And that was great. But that morning it was 1 degree. I looked,
the first.
And I was just wearing shorts and t-shirt. And then of course the next morning see, this is always good to then you talk about writing, but then you start talking about something else. That's part of life. And the next morning, of course, I wore my jacket, but it was 12 degrees, so I was sweating.
It was too much, yes.
What about you? So you've been...
I've been running the same in the morning because I had to stay long. Some nights I was thinking of evenings, but no, it was in the morning. For example, last morning, I mean, this morning I stayed until 4:30 here, had some interviews, also had a little bit of wine, talking to the guys here on the Poetry Night. And of course in the morning I have to get up because we have so many things every day, like finalizing video of the day, and it's lots of things to be done and to prepare. And you cannot sleep more than 7, something like that. So to have a half an hour to run.
Did you this morning?
This morning, no. All the other mornings. The other mornings. But next morning, for sure, I'll do it.
I couldn't this morning because I was up. I came after the theatre. I came back to the poetry night and I knew it was going to finish at 4 a.m, but then it finished a bit early. And it was great, but I was still relieved. It was really amazing. And so I think that's what makes it easy to have a good attitude. And also, I just feel to do something physical is really important. And so I feel like I've at least achieved something most days when my writing hasn't gone well.
Yes.
And so, but I still find that writing gives me the most energy to do everything else. So sometimes I have to force myself to go for a run. I don't have to force myself to go surfing, but I do have to force myself sometimes to go for a run. But once you start, it's like writing and running are very similar.
Yes.
You just have to put your shoes on.
Just do it.
And then, then start. And then by a certain, and I'm not running too far, but by a certain time, you start to get an idea that you didn't know you were going to have that day. But you only get it because you started doing something. So it's I think they're quite similar things, and you can't be impatient. You've got you start and then you see where you might end up.
Another question, maybe if when you have like a bad day and nothing works and you can feel that energy, what do you do, or maybe don't, to change, to improve that?
Yeah, sometimes that happens to me for weeks and months where I'm not really getting the kind of work done that I want, and I think it's easy to be distracted by the rest of your life as well, and especially, you know, when I used to have other jobs other than writing, you just sort of, sometimes you have to immerse yourself fully in something else, I find, so that, because sometimes you're just always thinking about writing and thinking about your book, and actually then you sit down to work and you're already tired. So sometimes it's good to just find something else that you love, or your other work, or family time, or sport, or movies, or whatever you do, and it just works in your subconscious. And that's what I find. And then sometimes, rather than sit and it is like the main event, and now I'm going to do it, sometimes I'll just actually start writing in my notebook while I'm watching a movie that I've seen many times before, so that it doesn't feel like I said, like the main event, or that it's a big job, or that it's and so I think sometimes you can be guilty of, you know, you're writing for the world championship of yourself, and I've done, and sometimes that's good. You just I think you gotta figure out where your soul is at that point in time and try to work to that if you can.
It's so cool. I also do something like that from time to time. Or when I don't really, sometimes I need to do paper stuff to work a lot, and I don't really enjoy that. I enjoy talking to people, interacting, doing lots of things, but not paperwork. But because I manage something, I need to do paperwork from time to time. And when I know I kind of don't want to do that, later in the evening, I let myself till the end, to the deadline when I need to do that. So I'm more motivated on doing it. And after my children, my wife get to sleep, I put myself in front of the laptop or the computer and play on something, maybe a movie, something that I've been wanting to see for a long time, and working on the other, exactly as you said. Like I'm not doing this. I'm enjoying. I really wanted to watch that movie to learn something.
But it makes it bearable.
Yes, something like that. Thank you.
That's good. No worries.
It was wonderful.
No, pleasure.